The Irish had all the luck as they sent the Cougars back to Provo with their tails between their legs.
And back to ballin', Tyler Haws is back from his mission and he's ready to start doing what he does best, draining buckets.
And Steed in the lead. The 7th-year senior is back and ready to take the Lady Cougs to another shot at Hoops Glory. I'm Taylor Lansford.
And I'm Sean Gordon. The round balls are rolling and it's time for the tube.
I've been kind of in a bad mood lately.
And why is that?
Because we've lost 2 football games in a row, and I hope we don't make it 3.
Oh, I tend to agree, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Cougars visited historic South Bend to take on the 5th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, looking to avoid losing to their second top 10 team in 2 weeks. And it wasn't the best of starts. Riley Nelson gets picked on BYU's first drive by Manti Te'o, the former BYU recruit who's having a Heisman-type year. And then later in the first, the Irish get on the board with a Tyler Eifert 4-yard TD catch. But the Cougars answered back, capping off a 56-yard drive with a 6-yard strike to Cody Hoffman. And the defense got some quid pro quo in the quarter number 2. We'll match your Te'o pick and raise you with a Van Noy one, giving the offense a short field, and the Cougars capitalized, taking the lead with a 2-yard touchdown from Nelson to Kaniakua Friel. But it was all Irish in the second half, gashing BYU on the ground, racking up 179 of their 270 rush yards, scoring 10 unanswered points. And BYU's final chance falls into Irish hands as the Cougars fall to 500 with a 17-14 loss. And now we've got Coug reporter Brady Tucker here. Brady, you were in South Bend for the game. What are your general thoughts on what happened?
You know, BYU really shouldn't feel all that bad about losing 17-14. Notre Dame comes into this game not having allowed an offensive touchdown in 4 straight games. Pretty good to score 2 against them.
That's true, but also you look at it and the offense has been anemic almost this entire year. Why is that?
Well, against Notre Dame, BYU only averaged just 4 yards per completion. What they do is run this dink and dunk kind of offense. They throw the ball to the outside and try to push the ball down the field that way, but it doesn't work when you have a quarterback who can't get him the ball.
And then a top 5 defense, especially against the rush, gives up 270 rush yards. What happened?
You know, I don't know what to tell you about that one. What happens is BYU's defensive line is completely depleted right now by injuries, and so what they have to do with Notre Dame is they fake the sweep and they put somebody in motion which isolates the defensive lineman, and they can't go one-on-one with Notre Dame's offensive lineman.
Well, they're definitely going to have to do a lot better against the rushing game at Georgia Tech, that's for sure. Thanks, Brady.
Cougar star freshman Jamal Williams is shining on the field. The College Football Performance Winner Award named him candidate for the National Freshman of the Year Award. The California native leads the team in rushing with 79 carries for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Past FBS recipients include Ohio State quarterback Braxton Miller and South Carolina running back Marcus Lattimore. And here to give a breakdown of what to expect from Williams and the rest of the team this week, CougTube reporter Royce Hinton. Royce, is BYU going to stop the skid that they've had over the past few weeks and their 2-game losing streak?
Taylor, facing the Cougars this week is a team that's gone 3-4 and is hungry for a homecoming win. Now, with both teams having seasons that have been less than satisfying, winning on Saturday is a must for each side.
BYU last faced Georgia Tech in 2003 in Provo when the Cougars came out with a 24-13 victory. This year, BYU will face the Yellow Jackets on their home turf at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta.
They're probably not playing with as much swagger or confidence as Notre Dame because their season, you know, it hasn't gone the way that they thought it would go, but they're definitely capable of playing hard and taking us behind the woodshed if we don't.
The Cougars will need to watch out for Georgia Tech quarterback Tevin Washington, the team's leading rusher. With 14 touchdowns already this season, stopping him will be no small task.
I feel as though this is something that Coach Mendenhall, he's looking forward to. He likes playing against the triple option. I guess he's been fairly dominant against him over the years as he's been here, so I don't know. I want to help him stay dominant in this upcoming game.
Bronco and the Cougars have won 5 out of 6 games against triple option-minded teams. They understand just what it will take to grind out a W against Georgia Tech.
We need to mount drives. We can't have any 3-and-outs. We can't have any short drives because that just allows them to chew the clock and wear our defense out. So we can help our defense out by sustaining drives. So
if the Cougars are able to put up some offensive points tomorrow, their 4th-ranked defense should be able to pull out the Yellow Jacket Stingers.
Well, BYU was able to put up 17 points last week against Notre Dame. We'll see if they can put up even more again this weekend. In the newsroom, Royce Hinton, CougTube.
All right, Royce, BYU is coming into the game as a 2-point underdog. What else will it take to come out with a win tomorrow?
Well, actually, they scored 14 points. I misspoke when I said 17. But BYU this week, they're looking to score on. They're looking to stop the run. Georgia Tech is ranked 3rd in the nation with their run. So if BYU is able to stop the run, they stand a fighting chance.
So what's BYU's all-time record against ACC teams?
Well, under Bronco, they're 0-4, so that's not a very good record. But overall, they're 4-10. So a win tomorrow would definitely help Bronco statistics.
It would definitely, and so let's get that Bronco a good stat. Thanks, Royce.
Georgia Tech head coach Paul Johnson says even though BYU hasn't played a spread option team recently, there's still plenty of similar formations to look at on film to build the Cougar game plan. Despite BYU's current record, Johnson still had only good things to say about the Cougars.
I don't think the record indicates how good a team they are. They've lost 3 games to ranked teams, 2 in the top 10. They're top 10 in about every defensive category, and they're always a big physical team.
Johnson also said he faced BYU a number of times when he coached in Hawaii and knows they're well prepared to play every week. And Cougar football continues to get chances to showcase their talents on national TV. The final home game on November 10th will air on ESPNU when the Cougars look to tackle the Idaho Vandals. The following week, BYU travels to San Jose State, and that game's set to air on either ESPNU or ESPN2 at 8:30.
John Stockton and Karl Malone better make some room. 3 of BYU's athletes are joining the Jazz greats in the Utah Sports Hall of Fame. Track star Richard George made the cut with 3 WAC championships and Olympic experience. So did former football player and 3-time Pro Bowl selection Chad Lewis. Cross-country athlete Doug Padilla completes the Cougar roster with 7 national records.
And when CougTube comes back, tip-off time. The Cougar faithful rocked the Marriott Center to get their first look at this year's basketball squad.
And Haas attack. Find out what BYU's sensational sophomore is doing to get ready to take the bite out of the opposing defense. Stay with us. The Cougar basketballers were back in front of fans for the first time in 9 months on Wednesday. CougTube reporter Mary Blanchard watched the Cougars show off their skills. Mary, how did the team look?
Well, Taylor, it was just a scrimmage, but the Cougars put up some sweet shots and dominated on defense.
Cougar against Cougar when basketball season tipped off this week. Blue took on white, giving fans a sneak peek of what to expect as the season gets going. Each team had an even mix of experienced players and rookies. Tyler Haas is back, fresh from his mission, but 26 points on the board led the Blue Cougars to an 84-70 win. Brandon Davies led the white team with 20 points, though he rode the bench the entire second half.
I really wanted to play, but, Coach thought it would be in the best interest of the team for me to, sit out the blue and white game just for a half. So.
But even with the senior absent from the court for the final 20 minutes, the energy from the stands was present and accounted for.
I'm super excited for the next season. I think Davies is looking great, and we got a couple great new players that are off their missions, and we got a couple great freshmen that I think it's going to be it'll be better than last year, I think.
Fans who hung around after the final buzzer got their free BYU basketball poster signed by all of the players. But getting the team's John Hancocks meant waiting in a line out the door.
I think getting the autographs was the coolest part. The wait was a little long, but it was worth it, definitely.
4,000 fans made a lot of noise for the scrimmage, but expect it to be even louder when more than 20,000 packed the Marriott Center during the regular season. Sean?
Thanks, Mary. And the final pieces of the puzzle came together with the selection of the basketball team captains. Senior guard Brock Zylstra gets the nod to lead the team for a second straight year. Joining him this time around is fellow senior Brandon Davies, who's an all-West Coast Conference selection. And rounding out the trio of captains is 6'5" sophomore guard Tyler Haas. And speaking of Haas, the youngest of the team captains is fresh from his Philippines mission and back in blue for the first time since 2010. Skylar Hardman, you caught up with Haas this week. How is he adjusting to civilian life?
Well, it hasn't been easy, but he's had about 6 months to get himself back in shape for basketball. Haas is well aware of the success the Cougars had while he was gone, but says he wouldn't trade his mission experience for anything.
Haas got back from his mission in the Philippines in April. And it wasn't long before he hit the gym, but not to play ball. He spent 2 months getting in shape before venturing into his first 5-on-5 pickup game.
It was kind of weird at the start. Like, I remember getting the ball and feeling like, what do I do with it? Kind of a thing. But it came back, and it's fun. I'm loving it.
Haas averages more than 4 boards and 11 points and shoots a stellar 50%. The sophomore will have an expanded role alongside his co-captains. Brock Zylstra and Brandon Davies are the only 2 players left from the first BYU team Haas played on. Returning missionaries usually struggle to reteach their bodies. Head coach Dave Rose says it's a tough transition.
Physically, he has worked, as hard as anybody we've had as far as returning from a mission.
The hard work is already paying dividends. In Wednesday's blue and white game, Haas led both squads with 26 points. And, a lot like his old self, he was perfect from the free throw line and connected on 2 of 3 from beyond the arc.
It felt great. It's really good to get back in the Marriott Center and be in this atmosphere again.
The Marriott Center fans missed you too, Tyler.
Haas wasn't the first BYU baller to take a 2-year sabbatical, but missing out on the Fredette years, that's a lot to take. In fact, Tyler even said that people in the Philippines asked him about Jimmer Fredette.
Well, yeah, but of course that's not the only thing that changed in the 2 years he was gone.
No, in fact, a lot has changed. To put it in perspective, when he left, we had Jake Heaps was a top recruit for BYU football. We were in the Mountain West Conference, and nobody knew how to Jimmer.
Well, and then he had Brandon Davies, who at that point was just a backup freshman center, and now he's the centerpiece of the team. But what can we expect from Haas this year? What's it going to take for him to be good?
Well, what we want to see is a lot of ball movement to get Haas some open looks. His stroke has returned, just like he came home from his mission, so expect him to be deadly from his mid-range jumper.
Which is something we're definitely going to need this year. Thanks, Skylar.
There's a storm coming to the Marriott Center, the southeastern Oklahoma State Salvage Storm to be precise. I wonder how that looks on a t-shirt. They have 3 of 5 starters returning from last season, but the Cougars have players like Tyler Haas and Raldo Delgado who proved that they know how to score. Earlier this week, the Storm finished their last season with a 12-17 record. The BYU women's volleyball dominates at home but struggles outside Provo. This Jacqueline Hyde play has shown in games against Gonzaga. BYU annihilated the Bulldogs a month ago and in straight sets at home, with Gonzaga reaching 15 points to only 1 set. Last night was a much closer in Spokane as the Zags scored more 20 twice, but 28 attack errors from Gonzaga allowed BYU to sneak out that 3-0 sweep.
And a week ago, San Diego stood atop the WCC women's soccer standings, but my, how the mighty have fallen. BYU now owns first place and showed their dominance in San Diego yesterday. The Cougars scored 2 goals in the first 6 minutes of play to jump out early, and the rout was on. Chloe Coulihan had 2 goals on the night as BYU bullied the Toreros for the 4-1 win. And the final home game for the women's soccer team is Saturday, and they need you to come out to South Field and help honor BYU's 9 seniors on Senior Day. Carly Payne-Homo leads the team in assists, and the Cougar defense is anchored by 3 seniors, including All-American Lindsay Lisenby Cutshall. And 5th-ranked BYU has the 16th best record in the nation over the last 4 years.
CougTube returns. Black and white Haley Steed will once again don the blue and white and find out why point guard decided to come back for her 7th year.
And looks like Hurricane Sandy won't have too much of an impact on the football game. 11 game time weather. Taking a look outside right now, it looks a little better than it did a couple days ago when we had that snow come through. Still chilly temperatures and it's still frosty outside, but a little better than a couple days ago. Currently, we're at 38 or 36 degrees, humidity at 60%, winds just blowing at 5 miles per hour. So still a chilly day. We'll get up into 47 degrees later on today, but then all the way down to 30 degrees tonight. So still chilly temperatures and a time for us to bring your jackets if you're planning on going out tonight. Taking a look now, we're going to look at Hurricane Sandy, which has just made a mess in the Caribbean. They said it was heading for the area where the game's going to be tomorrow, but now they say it's going to be heading in a different direction. On Saturday, it should miss it and actually hit more up north. And so for the game tomorrow, it should clear up, shouldn't have too much of an impact. For the game day, temperatures will be at around 69 degrees, humidity at 48%, winds blowing around 15 miles per hour. Could have gusts all the way up to 20 miles per hour though. More clouds in the sky, but fairly good weather for the game tomorrow in Atlanta. Looking at statewide now, mainly we're in the 40s, 50s, and down in the south 60s, just across the state. So 45 Logan, 67 in St. George, in Provo 47. So all similar, but not too bad weather. So back to you.
Well, thanks, Matt. And the starting point guard for the BYU women's basketball team has already graduated from BYU, but as KooTube reporter Sarah Burchett tells us, she still gets to suit up for the Cougars.
Haley Steed came to BYU as a freshman in 2006. Her dream to play for the women's basketball team. A torn ACL and 2 medical redshirt years later, she's still here.
When the NCAA approved her for 2 more seasons of play, Cougar guard Haley Steed couldn't believe it.
All of it was kind of a surprise to me, obviously a pleasant surprise, but I feel lucky to be here.
When she graduated in 2011, Haley thought she was off the court for good. But at age 24, she's still here with a final year of eligibility and an arsenal of experience.
I know we have other great point guards, but Haley just has something different. She's been here longer than all of our assistant coaches, actually. So she's just like another coach out on the court with you, relaying messages.
7 years of learning obviously is a lot better than 4 years.
More time with the playbook, more maturity. She knows what it means to fight back from the bench.
I just didn't understand it. And after going through what I did for 3 years, obviously I have so much more sympathy and respect for people who get injured and battle back.
Now that the medical battle is over, head coach Jeff Judkins is ready for Haley to lead the rest of the Cougars to victory.
I'm excited. I didn't want her to go through all these 3 surgeries, but we've benefited from it also, so it should be a great year.
One thing's for sure, Haley's comeback proves the same. When the horse throws you off, get back on and ride again.
In her final season as a Cougar, Haley wants to add to her 559 career assists to become the all-time leader for the Cougars. She already holds the record for the most assists in a single season, so don't be surprised if she comes out on top. Sean?
Thanks, Sarah. The Lady Cougars will look to rely on their leaders to carry the load this season, but as KooTube reporter Jake Edmonds tells us, for Keilani Unga, the load off the court is just as important.
It's common to hear teammates refer to themselves as a family, but for senior forward Keilani Unga, there's a real-life family to care for too. Keilani Unga returns to the Lady Cougars hoop squad after missing the last 2 seasons. She joins graduate guard Haley Steed as this year's team leaders.
I think we're at least 2 years older than anyone else on the team, so we just kind of taken on the motherly role.
It's a role that Unga is already familiar with. At BYU, it's not uncommon for athletes to leave their sport for 2 years, as many choose to serve missions. But during her time away from the team, Keilani married former Cougar running back Harvey Unga and gave birth to 2 kids, Layla and Jackson.
It's harder on your body, it's harder mentally. You don't get to sleep at night because you're worrying about your kid and taking care. So what Keilani's gone through, I think, is harder than being gone on a 2-year mission.
That's not stopping this mom from playing the game she loves. Keilani says she was nervous at first to return to the team, but it wasn't long before she felt back at home.
There's so much positivity and so much desire to be a great team that you can just feel. So right when I came on, I just felt it and I felt welcomed. They were so nice to me.
So whether she's dishing out dinner or dishing out dimes, this Lady Cougar will be taking care of 2 families this season. Now, Keilani started every game 2 years ago, but played just 17 minutes per game and wasn't a prominent scorer. Look for her to provide both an emotional boost to this team as well as putting points on the board. Taylor?
All right, those are going to be some athletic kids. Thanks, Jake. Cross-country championship season is in full sprint. 9 runners on the women's team are in Oregon with high hopes of bringing the West Coast Conference Championship title home. Our number 5 men's team will take on number 17 Portland tomorrow. BYU dethroned the Pilots last season, keeping them from what would have been their 33rd consecutive WCC championship.
And when CougTube comes back, we'll predict whether or not BYU can head down south and catch a win. So stay with us.
It's time for the most heated part of the show, predictions. I don't get to say this often. I beat Sean. I beat Sean last week. I told him that Florida was going to beat South Carolina. Sean, say it. Say it. I beat you. Say it.
Fine. You got me.
That's right. That's what I wanted to hear. All right, but we both were right when we picked Notre Dame to beat BYU. Although, Matt, I do respect you for picking BYU, but unfortunately they lost. But our reporters are still beating us. Sean, we can't have reporters beating us.
Very true.
This is not okay, but Matt, you're still a little bit behind. Yeah. But this week we're going to predict BYU versus Georgia Tech on Saturday, and the third game in the World Series, San Francisco Giants versus the Detroit Tigers. Sean, let's start with you.
I'm going to take BYU going down into Georgia, getting the win against the Yellow Jackets, and I think San Francisco gets the World Series win, but I think Detroit wins Game 3.
All right, Brady, let's go to you in the newsroom.
I got the Yellow Jackets stinging the Cougars this weekend, and in the World Series, Vogelsong and the Giants going to beat the Tigers.
All right, Matt.
I have to disagree on BYU game. I think BYU is going to be able to pull it out, and the Giants are going to take the Tigers.
All right, and I got to go with BYU and everyone else. Brady, you're totally going down. And I got to pick the Tigers, and I agree with Sean that...
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, I know, right? I never agree with Sean. But I do have to agree that San Francisco will probably win the World Series, but they're going to lose Game 3. They're going back to their home field. They lost 2 in San Francisco. So, but Brady, why did you pick the Yellow Jackets?
Hey, look, haters going to hate, first of all right? And then we'll go from there. BYU's 0-3 on the road. Yellow Jackets are 3rd in the country in rushing yards per game. They're 10th in time of possession. And BYU's offense isn't good enough to keep Georgia Tech's offense off the field. I don't think they're going to win.
Brady, there's a reason you're relegated to the newsroom.
Right.
BYU has been historically good against one-dimensional teams, which Georgia Tech is, and the Yellow Jackets' defense might be the one thing that's more abysmal than BYU's offense.
I just hope and pray that we don't get a 3rd loss, because then I'm just turning my attention to basketball, so it doesn't even matter. But oh my gosh, I hope we don't get 3 losses in a row.
I don't think we'll have to worry about it. I think, I think BYU's got it.
I think we're pretty confident there.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, and that's CougTube for Friday, October 26th.
If you want another look at the stories we did today or to share with your friends, check out the CougTube section of our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon, and go Cougs!